Hello, I'm Brian Harrison. Welcome to another edition of Real Life, Real God. And I'm Brian Harrison.
And I'm Thaddeus McCandless, the co-host
Yes.
of Real Life, Real God. And what are we talking about today? Or who are we talking about today?
Job.
Job. Job. J-O-B.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's the background, or the brief background story on Job for people that might not know it, who have not been reading their Bibles, or maybe they just skipped over that book?
Yeah, well, there starts out with the bat where Satan goes to heaven and they're having I guess a little party. I guess
Council meeting.
Council meeting of all the earths. They have to answer to God. So Satan goes up there and he's representing the earth we live in. So he goes over and says, well, the world's mine, and he starts to complain about stuff, and God says, well, have you seen my servant Job? And he goes, well, you give him everything, so yeah, of course he serves you. And God says, well, and finally God agrees to allow Satan to take away except his life. So, and there becomes the horrors.
So, yeah, Job has, what does he have? Job has, hundreds of camels. He has, 12 or, 6 sons, 6 daughters. Lots of kids. He has, servants, wheat, everything. And so, basically, I think, earthquake comes and people come and kill all of his family. Or I can't even remember, but all these disasters happen. And he's stripped of everything. But he doesn't, his wife's like, you should curse God and die or whatever, but he doesn't. He's like, he's in pain and he's, I think saddened, but he doesn't turn away from God, even though Satan says, he'll turn away from you if I strip him of all of his earthly, it's basically all of his earthly possessions and, everything close to him.
Yeah. So, I guess what we would come down to is how it applies to our life today.
Today, yes.
So,
I think that's a good point because today, usually when a disaster happens, like in Job's thing, like if somebody has, some family member goes and has disease or something like cancer or something, they're like, why God?
Mm-hmm.
And I think the devil likes that when people say that because it happens a lot during this day and age. They'll be like, oh, God let this happen, or and it's just I think it's just a distraction. It's not God's fault. It's actually, he may have, I don't know if he has anything to do with it, but sometimes it's not his way. It's just because sin has entered in, many things happen that are, just sometimes they have to happen because of sin.
Mm-hmm. And that's what we get into is, Job probably had some doubts in his mind. Not to say he didn't have any doubts in his mind, but at the same time he remained faithful, and that's what God was trying to prove, is that you can do this to him, but he's gonna still. And he even said, "Yeah, Lord, even if you curse me, yet I will trust you." And so, yeah, he remained faithful to the very end, and I guess that tells us sometimes we need to remain faithful because maybe God allows it because we're called up to answer for an allegation that Satan may have. So God wants to prove that his children survive well.
And I can't imagine Satan representing the earth at the beginning of the story.
No.
That is quite
well, basically
terrifying.
Yeah, well, it is, but basically because he was kicked out of heaven, so he came to this earth, and Adam and Eve were supposed to be Adam was like the king of the earth, and Eve would have been like the queen, but they lost it to Satan. So Satan became the prince of the world.
But not for long.
No. Well,
any other thoughts on Job?
I don't know. I guess we could explore more thoughts if people write in wherever. If you're on YouTube, GodTube, or they go and call it McCaff, or
something like that.
Something like that, yeah. So, if wherever you're watching this, just subscribe, comment, and tell us what you think, and we'll hopefully discuss more either on this subject and of course on others that we'll get to. It's a big topic. So, well, this is the end of the show.
And we want to thank you for watching. I, of course, am Thaddeus Vacalis again.
And I'm Brian Harrison, the host of this show, and I hope to see you next time.
And keep watching, and God bless.
Yeah.